Welcome to this week's edition of Black Authors Matter TV, where we interview the latest movers and shakers in the African American literary community. You'll meet some old friends, discover new ones, and stay abreast of the latest book developments around the country and even the world. So sit back and relax for the next 2 hours with Black Authors Matter TV co-hosts Gwen Richardson and Dr. Rhonda Lawson.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I am hanging by myself for a little while. Gwen had some things that she needed to take care of, so she's going to be on a little bit later. And if I look a little different than what I usually do, it's because I am actually in Katy, Texas for Thanksgiving. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting week, but it's going to be a great week because we have 4 amazing guests who I cannot wait for you guys to meet. So without any further ado, I am going to bring on our first guest, and they are arriving shortly. Okay, there you go. Okay, now I just need you to unmute.
How's that?
Perfect. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful, Dr. Rhonda.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
I'm glad you have me. Looking forward to the conversation as well.
Okay, I'm hearing a wonderful accent, and I spent 5 years in Belgium, and I've met so many people from so many different countries. So
Right.
I enjoy it. I enjoy an accent when I hear it, and I think I catch on to it probably a little faster than some other people. So can you tell me where you're from?
I'll give you one guess, and I'll give you if you don't get it.
Oh, you're gonna put pressure on me.
But it's pressure with love. Pressure with love.
Okay, well, I haven't listened to it long, so
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Take a guess, you never know.
Oh, I like you. Okay, is it a European accent?
No, it's a South American accent
Oh, a South American accent.
from
Okay.
Guyana.
Oh, shoot, I was not going to say that, but I love it. Okay. Well,
South
welcome.
American / Caribbean.
Really? Okay. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
you think I would have known that it would be a little bit of Caribbean in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you for being a part of Black Authors Matter TV tonight. So before we get started, can you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm delighted to be in a zone called the retiree zone. I've got an 8-year-old granddaughter whose birthday or 8th birthday is tomorrow.
Okay.
And early this year, she said to me, she said, "Papa, you're supposed to be retired. You're always traveling. You're always in these webinars." She's hearing her grandmother complain. I had a very long career as an academic. Before that, I was a journalist.
Okay.
I've had the pleasure of having a wonderful family. My wife and I later this next month be celebrating our 37th wedding anniversary.
Oh, congratulations. That's beautiful.
Thank you. We have 2 wonderful kids, a daughter, Shakina Aisha, and his son, Ivelaw Lamar. He's getting married next month.
What? Oh, you just have a beautiful life going on.
Couldn't ask for much more. I'm blessed.
Love it, love it, love it. So now, where are you located now? I believe you are in New York right now?
Yes, we live in a wonderful part of New York in Long Island. It's a town called Freeport. Nice, quiet, not large, but quite connected to very many parts of facilities, arrangements, whatever you need. It's just in about 15, 20 minutes away. So we've been here for 17 years in Freeport, Long Island, and loving it. We plan to retire here. And I was like, I'm retired. And my wife retires. We're going to just stay here.
Oh, so you're not a glutton for punishment like I am, because I I am retired, and then I decided to go back to work. So I did 23 years in the Army, and then now I work for the federal government. So
I still do some work. I still write.
Okay.
Sylvie's Love and Loss is my third book this year. I do consulting. I still keep active. You know, if you as you're getting older, you've got to keep active, or else
Yes.
things happen physiologically and biologically. So I still still keep active, still work.
Well, funny you should mention, this is Black Authors Matter TV. So, tell me about your book, Sylvie's Love and Loss.
Sylvie's Love and Loss is what I call an adventure of life. It's built around the life journey of a woman from Grenada, and it connects to family, it connects to values, it connects to the complexity of geography. It has a complexity of geography that begins in Grenada, but connects to Detroit, Michigan, to Windsor, Canada, to Jamaica, to Trinidad and Tobago, to Venezuela, to Barbados. And it is built around the life story of this woman who I call Sylvie, based on an actual experience I had about 3 decades ago. I was working on another book. And in doing the research for that book, I went to Grenada, small island in the Eastern Caribbean. And you probably know that when you've got folks from a certain part of the world going back to that part of the world, other folks would ask you to take stuff for them. Take this to a family here and take this to a friend. So a friend of mine in the US asked me to take a package to this woman who I call Sylvie. So I took this package to Sylvie, and we were talking, and she began to tell me her life story.
Okay.
She felt so comfortable with me, Rhonda, that she began to make an offer. Part of her life story was that she was a deportee. She was deported from Canada for drug trafficking. But she was still in the business back in...
Deported from Canada?
From Canada, yeah.
Okay.
She was moving drugs in her female parts across the border.
Oh.
She was a mule. So she was still in the business back in Grenada, and in some respects. So guess what? After feeling so comfortable with me, she offered to sell me some cocaine. And I said, nah,
Got
I
really
don't.
comfortable with you.
I'm telling you. 3 hours over hors d'oeuvres and over beers can do a lot to loosen your sensitivities to being discreet. And I had an experience after I told her I don't do drugs. She said to me, Doc, you can use it for sex. I'm a doctor, so I was doing research there. She didn't know what my research is all about. My research was actually about drugs. She didn't know that. She just knew me as a friend of a friend in the US. I was bringing this package for her. So after I told her I don't do drugs, she began to say to me, you can use the cocaine for sex. Oh, guess what? Yeah, you tell a guy, what do you think the guy's going to do? Tell me how.
Right.
So she began to tell me how to use cocaine for sex. This was such an intriguing, unexpected, startling experience. I said to myself, one day when I retire, I've got to write a novel. I've got to put on paper this story creatively embellished because of this startling experience I had. This was 1994 in the Caribbean. So after I retired in 2019, moved back to New York from Guyana, I decided, let me begin to write this novel. So I crafted this novel, and it's called Sylvie's Love and Loss.
Well, so now the novel, I'm guessing, just by virtue of it being a novel, this is a fictitious story based on this real life experience.
Correct. The only grain of truth is what I learned about Sylvie that day in Grenada. But the rest of it is fiction, creative fiction. You'll love it when you read it.
It sounds interesting.
Your viewers will love it when they read it.
Yeah, I will say that you can't possibly make this stuff up. I mean, for somebody that you've met for the first time to feel that comfortable with you that they would offer you drugs. I mean,
oh yeah,
I would be totally astounded if that had happened to me.
Yeah. But people feel friend of my friend, we drinking, loose lips, not only sink ships but can do other things. And so it was a revelation. It was astounding. As a matter of fact, the book I was researching when I had this experience was published later on. And I recall It was published by Penn State Press. And one of the reviews of the manuscript said Professor Griffith needs to put a footnote saying he's not advocating the use of cocaine for sex. Because it was such a startling thing.
Right.
But it was so startling, I said, I've got to tell this story in another form, not a scholarly book, not an academic book. And Sylvie's Love and Loss is what this story is all about.
Wow. And this was your debut novel?
This is my debut novel.
But now, is this your debut novel, but you've had other books, or have you written other fiction, other novels since then?
All my other works are all academic, scholarly works. I've got 9 academic books, some written by me, some I co-edit, some I edit, but this is my first novel. It's not going to be my last novel because I've got a sequel. I've got a continuation of the story.
Oh, okay. So you're going to have
I'll tell you what, Rhonda, I'm so glad that my wife kind of saved me from myself. She said to me at one point, she said, honey, this is your first novel. Who wants to read a 500-page book? Keep it short. So I decided to end it. And then I've got sufficient of the rest of the story to begin the second novel.
Mm-hmm.
So come the new year, I'm going to work. That second novel is going to be just as good as this one, in my view.
So now tell me, with this being your first novel, how is this different from the academic work? I mean, because it's 2 totally different types of writing.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. One of the things that was helpful to me, Rhonda, is in my pre-academic life, I was a journalist.
Mm.
So I know how to write, keeping it short, keeping it simple,
Yes.
write a number of words, write to a certain deadline, write to a certain number of words. I did both print and radio. So if you're doing the radio, you've got X number of minutes. If you're doing the print, you've got X number of words or pages. So I was able to use that journalistic, keeping it simple narrative storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a major challenge because I was so caught up in my academic style. Where do I do the footnotes? How do I do the footnotes? Where do I put the referencing? And people who read chapters and my developmental editor kept saying, Dr. Griffith, you don't need any footnotes. Stick to the story. So
yes,
I had to fight this.
Footnotes in a fiction.
Right, you know what I mean? So I had to fight that demon, that academic demon, that inclination to want to put in the footnote, show the evidence, make it academic. I simply had to deal with that. But I was so thankful. I went back decades into my journalism training, and that helped immensely. Moving from the academic writing to the fiction writing.
I will tell you, I told you I was in the Army for 23 years.
Uh-huh.
And my job when I was in the Army was being a journalist. I was an Army journalist.
Oh,
so,
great.
I edit newspapers. I taught journalism. That was really where I became a professional writer. But when I decided that I wanted to write novels, I realized that I couldn't take all of my journalistic writing to my novel
writing.
because my sentences were sometimes going to have to be a little bit longer. I was going to have to use a little bit more description than I was using in my journalistic writing. I couldn't write, simple sentences. I needed to be a little bit more
elaborate. Yeah.
Ways I felt like I had to kind of relearn writing.
Well, thankfully, I didn't have to do much relearning because over the decades of being an academic and writing academic articles and books, I had cultivated the art of telling the story with relatively simple language. Don't all this jargon, this highfalutin language.
Right.
And so I had that, I was able to practice and perfect that style. And so it was relatively easy, save and except from dealing with the footnotes. I remember at one point, in part of the first chapter, I wanted to give some of the evidence from other parts of the world where people had used cocaine for sex. It was a famous case in Germany where this medical doctor was using cocaine to have sex with some of the women some of whom were his patients. And he used too much cocaine in one case, and the woman died. That led to a massive investigation. So I tell part of that story. My development editor says, Ivelaw, you're going away from the storyline. You got to cut that out. And so, my God, I got to cut that out.
You start to get carried away and you start to go down a rabbit hole because you,
right.
as a journalist, you've done so much research and you want to try to take all of that research.
Put it in there. Yep. So that's a demon I had to battle with. And, thanks to the developmental editor who worked with me and other friends who had been in this space, say, Ivelaw, forget that. Focus on the storyline. You're going off on tangents. You don't need all these, byways and highways. Stick to the road you're on. Yeah.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are just joining us, I am Dr. Rhonda Lawson. I know you can't see me very well today, but I am in Katy, Texas, visiting my family for Thanksgiving. And so I don't have my lights set up. I don't have my office. I know you used to see my degrees behind me and all this other things, but I still wanted to make sure that I was here to support Gwen. Gwen will be back on the show a little bit later. She had a few things that she needed to take care of. So I'm holding the show down until she gets back. So I don't want you guys thinking, hey, what's going on? This isn't what I'm used to seeing. You're still going to get that quality interview that you're used to getting when you watch Black Authors Matter TV. I just look a little different today.
Different is good sometimes. Different is good.
Yes,
different is good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now, tell me, because we didn't jump into this at the very beginning, I want to make sure that I'm saying your name correctly. I mean, I got the Lloyd Griffith part, but how do I say the first name?
Ivelaw.
Griffith.
Right. When my kids were young, I used to say to them, I have the law, Ivelaw. And my son would say, Daddy, you don't have the law. You have the money. Just give us the money. Leave us alone.
Love it.
So
love it.
Ivelaw Lloyd Griffith. Yeah.
Now, you published your book with Wordy, correct?
Wordy. Yep.
Yes. We absolutely love Wordy because, Wordy's been around for a long time.
Right.
A really big benchmark in the African American literary community. So I think you got a good one.
Yep. Only 2 nights ago, I was talking with some other friends, one of whom is writing his life story and was asking about my experience with Word. And I said, it was wonderful. I had a good editor. I had a good production manager. Wonderful. They were very responsive with the graphics. And people love the cover. And I say, I don't take credit for it. I just give the artist an idea of what I have in mind. And I said, here's what I have in mind. Give me 3 options. 3 great options, and I picked this one. So I'm delighted with Wordy's, and I'm delighted. Let me give a shout out to Yona, my publicist, who's the one who connected with your outfit. Wonderful. If Wordy would publish my second novel, I'd love to have them do it. But it's been a wonderful experience with Wordy. Shout out to Marvin. Shout out to Patrice.
That's beautiful. So now the artist who did your cover, because it is a beautiful cover, if you can show it to us one more time. You said your artist gave you actually 3 different concepts to choose from?
Yeah.
Okay, now I would tell you, I don't know if you know, but that's a blessing because often when authors sign with a publishing house, they don't get a choice. They're told this is what your cover is going to be. We basically own the book, so we're going to decide on the cover, and this is what it's going to be. And if you're unsatisfied with the cover, maybe they might change it, but they may not change it. Yep. So the fact that you were given 3 options, I hope that you realize how special that is.
I do realize because all my other books, which were all academic, I've often got 1 or 2 at most. But I said, I'd like to have three. And they gave me three great ones. And I went with this. So I wanted to convey, I wanted to have part of the Caribbean's landscape represented in the cover.
Yeah.
I wanted Sylvie to be visible but not known, a kind of a known unknown. So you know it's a woman, but you don't know what she looks like. I want a mystery to be there wrapped up in the Sylvie.
Yes.
And they did a wonderful job in giving me three options, and I chose this one, partly because I like the color combination that is in this one.
It's a lovely color combination, but another thing I like about it is that you can't see the character's face. So it's still,
Right.
it still lets the reader, it still plays on the imagination.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 That's part of what I wanted. And they took the notion and ran with it. And I'm delighted with the outcome. It's available at Worthy, of course. It's available on Amazon, Kindle, and in softcover. Christmas is coming, Rhonda. People can buy it for Christmas gifts.
Absolutely. And I did put the link, the Wordy link to your book in the chat. So anybody who wants to purchase the book tonight, you can do so. Just click right on that link, purchase the book while we're still talking. I think that's one of the most wonderful things about this Black Authors Matter TV audience is that many of the people who watch the show tune in every week. They're very dedicated to the show, and they support the authors who are on the show. So I'm quite sure that you're going to get a few sales just from being on the show tonight.
Love it. Thank you very much. Well, let me plug, if you don't mind, another place where you can go to see all my books. I've got a website.
Okay.
It's www.jefftheLeo, JEFFTHELEO.com. And all my books are there. You can click on it and order it, and you can see other things that I've done over the decades.
Okay. And now let me
JefftheLeo.com.
www.jeffth.
No, www.jefftheLeo.com. JefftheLeo.com.
Okay, I just put that in the chat as well.
Great, wonderful. I'm a Leo. Proud of it.
Well, I'm a Cancer. I guess I'm the emotional one. So now, I was at the Harlem Book Festival. Were you there?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, we should have run into each other.
I was in a panel on Black romance novels.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, we did make it to the panels, and maybe that was why I didn't get a chance to meet you. Gwen and I were actually sharing a tent, and we were advertising Black Authors Matter TV, as well as our own different ventures.
I actually picked up one of the flyers from your tent.
Oh, see, then we probably met each other then.
Yeah, I picked up a flyer. And you know, I was saying to someone, I did a book signing in Brooklyn a couple of months ago, and I was talking about that Harlem Book Fair. I was so impressed with the number of vendors and booksellers that were there.
Yes.
It was my first Harlem Book Fair.
Okay.
And I was totally impressed in a positive way.
Yeah,
Harlem Book
Festival is a wonderful event. It's been around for so long. I've been an author for over 20 years. And one of my first events was the Harlem Book Festival. So I was excited to come back to it. This was only my second one, but I plan on coming back. I really enjoyed it. And it was a little different from the first time that I did it, because it was more like a long street. You just walk down the street and there are different authors all throughout the street. So this was a little bit different because it was on a square. But it was still a great event. We sold a lot of books, a lot of T-shirts. We got a number of people to sign up for our shows, because I not only have Black Authors Matter TV, but I also have my own show, the Horizons Author Lounge.
Okay, great.
So we were able to get authors to sign up for both shows. So and Gwen sold oodles of T-shirts.
I can imagine. You know, I was also impressed. I thought the panel would have had like 15, 20 people. There were almost 70 people in that room.
Wonderful.
I was totally impressed. Yeah. And not just a good back and forth, but good questions about writing, good
Mhm.
questions about how to market your work. And it was a great experience. Great
So do you
experience.
think you're going to stick with fiction writing, or are you going to stick with academic, or maybe do a little bit of both?
I'll do both. I'll do both. I'll do both. I've got an academic book which I'm working on. It's about Guyana,
Okay.
but in January I'm going to start to follow up to this, the rest of the story, tell the rest of
Oh,
the story.
definitely. So I know I would love to read it, so I'm going to be ordering my copy. Is the book
Wonderful.
right now just in print? Do you plan to do audiobook or even a hardback?
I got to talk to Marva and Patrice at Wordy on what their plans are. I'm interested in the audiobook,
Okay.
but I've got to talk with them and see if there is that in that plan or if they can make that pathway available. Yeah.
Okay, well, I hope that works out. Because
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'm a reader, but because of my schedule, I do a lot of audiobooks.
Audio reading. Yeah.
Because I'm always moving around. I live in actually I'm even though I'm in Texas right now, I live in the Washington
Hmm.
area, and
Okay.
everywhere we go is probably 35 minutes to an hour away. So
Yeah.
when I jump in the car, the first thing I do is turn on an audiobook.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Makes sense. Makes sense. I'll definitely be talking with Wordy folks about the audio prospects of getting the audiobook. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
one of the things I like also is the very reasonable price. It's in paperback and it's only 19.99. Uh, very reasonable. And the
Yeah.
Kindle version is I think $10.
Oh, that's now you can't beat that.
Can't be that. Can't be that. So buy, folks, buy. If Christmas is coming, get your friends, get your family, get it for your neighbors too. Sylvie's Love and Loss.
So, all right, so we can find the book on Amazon. We can also find it on Kindle. Where are some other places we can purchase the book?
You can get it on Wordy, you can get it at Barnes and Nobles, any of the major booksellers in the business, it's there. And
Okay,
if you want to do one-stop shopping, go to my website. You can see all my books there and you can order it directly from the website. Go to Amazon or go to Wordy as appropriate,
okay,
and
and
it
the
can be
books are
there in a
also
couple of
on
days.
your website, jefftheleo.com.
JeffDeLeo.com.
Okay, and we have jefftheleo.com in the chat, as well as the Wordy website is also in the chat. So there is really
Wonderful.
no reason why people can't go out, just go ahead and click on one of these links and
That's
purchase
right.
the book.
And just for the hell of it, buy two. Don't stick with one.
And not only that, don't just
Uh-huh.
read the book, go
Read
ahead,
it.
read the book, and leave
Hmm.
the review.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Good suggestion, Rhonda.
Hey, this is what I'm here for. Well,
So when is your next book coming?
my next, see, now
Mhm.
you didn't put the pressure on me and you asked me in front of the people.
You can tell them it's forthcoming and just leave it at that.
No, I do plan on releasing another book in 2025. My plan was first 2024, but a lot of things are
Stuff
going
happened.
on.
Stuff happened.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, my next book will be released in 2025.
Hmm.
My plan is actually to have two books because I want to do a holiday novel
Okay.
as well. So
Great.
yeah, I need to get back into my writing. I mean, I coach writing, I promote
Hmm.
authors, but I have not given myself the energy that I'm giving other people. So I need to make sure that
Yep.
I
Yep.
make time to write my books. So
Wonderful.
I appreciate you putting that fire under my feet.
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
Mr. Ivelaw, I've really enjoyed talking with you.
So
Unfortunately,
have
it's
I.
the end of the half hour.
Time. I
It does.
understand.
It does. Well,
Well, let
you,
me thank you. Let me thank you and Gwen and the team at your place, and look forward to when my next one comes out. Have me back. Love to talk about it.
hey, when you want to come back, just say the word.
Surely will.
All right. Thank you
Sylvie's Love
so
and
much.
Loss.
Yes.
jeffdeleo.com.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard it here. Go out and purchase this book. Let's support this book. And so Ivelaw, thank you once again for joining us. Thank you for being a
Thank
part
you.
of Black Authors Matter TV. And I wish you all the best in your future
Thank you
endeavors.
so much. Thank you
All right.
very much. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, Wanda.
And you do the same. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. So that was a great interview. I enjoyed that. So I think it's time to just move right on over to our next guest. And she's coming in right now. Hi, Charlene.
Hello.
Oh, okay. You're not muted anymore. Yes.
Yes, I am here. Tech is working.
Yes. So I want to apologize to you right now. I know I look really dark right now, but I was just telling the audience that I am out of town right now. I'm actually visiting family, and
Oh, nice. Where are
yeah,
you?
I'm in Katy, Texas. I'm actually about an hour away from Gwen right now. Gwen lives in Houston. I live,
Okay.
yeah, I live in DC, but I'm
I live
visiting.
in DC. Well, I live in Montgomery County, but
Oh, I live in PG County.
oh my gosh, look at that.
We need to
We'll
link
have to
up
get
when I get
together
back.
in person one day.
Absolutely. So yeah, so I'm sorry I'm a little dark right now, but that's what's going on right now.
No, you look
And
great.
oh, thank you. And Gwen had to take care of some things, so I will be conducting your interview today, but don't worry, we're gonna have a good time.
Perfect. I love having fun.
Awesome, awesome. So before we get started, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm Charlene. I am a young adult author. My second book just came out a couple of weeks ago. It's titled Streetlight People. My third book is coming out probably May 6th. It looks like that date is going to stick. And
Wonderful.
it's called It's You Every Time. Um, I've been writing pretty much my whole life. I know a lot of authors say that. But yeah, honestly, from the time I was maybe like 6 years old, I was writing what you could call books. And have just been really fortunate to be able to pursue that as a career path. So yeah, that's me.
So,
I can dive more into any of that, but that's a high level overview.
okay. So you writing has kind of been your first love, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think even before I really realized I was writing books, which I think is how I sort of know it's just a very inherent part of who I am.
Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, I'll tell you, I've books have been my first love since I was young. I did not decide to start writing my own books until I was 12. So the fact that you
Oh,
wanted
so you were a late bloomer.
yeah. So yeah, the fact that you wanted to write at 6 years old, that's actually pretty amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, like I said, it was sort of just what I was doing. I was just writing and eventually realized I was writing books, and then eventually realized I was writing books that other people said were good. And then I guess worked up the confidence to start putting my work out there a little bit more. And fortunately started seeing some validation from people who didn't have to be nice to me and didn't have to say that they liked it if they
That's when
didn't.
you know you made it. When people who
Yeah,
don't have
yeah,
to be nice to you are telling you good things about your work, that
yeah.
means that it's probably the truth. That's amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, that was definitely my experience. I when I was a junior in high school, I wrote a book that I ended up submitting to the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they're like, or if anybody watching is unfamiliar, they are a national organization through Scholastic Books that basically awards the best art and writing that's happening at a high school level across the country. And I worked up the nerve to submit a book to that and ended up winning their National Novel Silver Award, which is still hard for me to say because it's a little bit of a tongue twister. But that was sort of my first big external validation. That I think that definitely sort of catapulted me towards the direction of trying to write professionally was getting that award from them. So
And how old
it's a
were you
little full circle now because my third book is coming out with Scholastic. So it kind
at
of all wrapped back around. But yeah.
how old were you at the time when you worked up the well, this is a double question. The
Okay.
first is how old were you when you worked up the courage? And then what helped you to finally say, I want to do it?
Yeah. I wrote the book when I was 16. I submitted it to the awards when I was 17. Um, and when you win, they sort of ship you off to New York and you get the award at Carnegie Hall and you meet all these authors and you meet other teens like you who are writing and you start to realize, or at least for me, I started to realize like, oh, this is could be like a career. This could be a thing. Maybe I could write real books that, even more people would read and could be in a bookstore one day. And so that really, from there, I decided to minor in creative writing when I went off to college. Um, and started the process of looking for an agent. And yeah, I think I always wanted to have a healthy separation between writing and my career, like my life, because if I had to write in order to like survive, I was worried that I wouldn't have the same inspiration or like my creativity would dry up and things like that. So I simultaneously pursued a career in marketing at that point along with writing books and I think that really helped me for a long time because it helped show me and remind me that the world is a lot bigger than just publishing.
Right.
And now I'm fortunate to be in a situation where I am writing full time and doing some contract work on the side in marketing.
So you,
Um,
you're actually able to make this into somewhat of a career.
yeah, and it's cool because it's hard. And like, even sometimes if you can start to focus on it more as a career, a lot of people don't because of the way that publishing is, and it can be really unpredictable, and the way payments are made can
Right.
take a while and things like that.
Think
So,
that unfortunately, a lot of people come into the literary industry because they see on you watch these TV shows and these movies where somebody wrote one book and all
I
of a
know.
sudden they're filthy rich, they're on a New York Times bestseller list, and everything is amazing. And people go into the industry thinking that this is going to happen to them,
I
that they can
know.
write that one story that's just going to take off. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen for everybody.
Yeah.
And then when you try to kind of shape their thoughts or manage their expectations on coming into the industry, you almost sound like you're being gloom and doom, and you're not trying to be gloom and doom, but you want to let them know what the reality is
Yeah.
of getting into this industry.
Absolutely. I think there's even just like so many different paths to publishing, right? Like there's traditional publishing, which I think is what a lot of people sort of think of when they say that they want to write a book, which
Mm-hmm.
is basically the model of like you get a literary agent and then your agent sends your book off to editors and then an editor makes you an offer and then you're signed with one of the houses that you have probably heard of like Penguin Random House or Scholastic or HarperCollins, things like that. But then there's also, indie publishing out there and like the smaller publishing houses that tend to have a little bit of a different model. And then there's also self-publishing, which, is something that you sort of you fund yourself and you get your work out that way. And I think that, you know, my best advice for people that are looking to get into publishing is to really do the research because there really are so many different ways to go about it
Right.
and really think to yourself like what are your goals and what is it that you're looking for out of publishing because one person's path is not everybody's path, and there might be a different avenue that makes a lot more sense for you.
Right.
I think writing requires a lot of resilience. No matter which path you take, you're going to have to stick to it potentially for a while to start to feel like you're getting some traction or you're seeing some of the success that you're hoping to, but it's not just you. We're all doing that. And social media is just a highlight reel. So you only see the good stuff, but we are working very hard behind the scenes. And I know that goes for everybody.
Absolutely. I mean, and people often ask me, should I be self-published? Should you be self-published or traditionally published? And I often tell people it's really up to you and
Yeah.
what is it that you want out of this industry and what do you have time for? Um,
Hmm.
I've even seen people, all of those really pretty Instagram reels of people decorating their homes and making them look all pretty.
Hmm.
There was one person who came on and said, don't decorate your home based on what you think is pretty, based on decorate based on what's functional and what
Hmm.
you're going to be able to maintain.
Hmm.
Because it's really pretty to put all of these things up, but then when you try to maintain it, it gets junky. And I
Hmm.
think the same thing goes for the literary industry. It's wonderful and it's dreamy to say you want to have a big traditional publisher and you want this huge contract and this huge um, advance.
Hmm.
But then you realize that if they give you a $10,000 advance, which very rarely happens, but let's say they give you a $10,000 advance, that's not free money. You're not
Hmm.
going to get royalty payments until you pay that $10,000 back. And how do you pay that
Yeah.
$10,000 back? You've got to sell books. And if
Hmm.
you're depending on the publishing company to do it all for you, you're not going to sell that 10,000 copies that you thought you were going to sell just because you had a big publisher. The other
Hmm.
part is one of the main reasons why I'm no longer traditionally published is because I have a busy schedule.
Hmm.
I'm probably not going to make those deadlines that a traditional publisher is going to give me.
Hmm.
So I have to kind of do things at my pace. It doesn't mean that I don't want to sell a lot of books, and it doesn't mean that I'm not disciplined, but I'm disciplined to know what I can and cannot do at the time. And
Yeah.
so I think that for a lot of people, they have to realize that not every path is for every person, just
Hmm.
like we were saying earlier.
Yeah. I completely hear that. And I think that the only thing I would add is there's a lot of people now, I won't say a lot, but there are definitely people now who are sort of simultaneously doing both. Like I know people who are self-publishing some of their books and who are also traditionally publishing some of those books. And it really depends on sort of a whole array of things. Like sometimes you have an idea that publishing at the end of the day, for better or worse, is a business, and they tend to buy into things that they recognize and that they believe that they can sell. And sometimes you have ideas like that, and traditional publishing is more excited and open to those. And sometimes you have an idea that feels a little bit off the beaten path and a little bit less traditional. And like I said, I know people who are using both self-pub and traditional pub as a means of just fully expressing their creativity, as opposed to trying to make everything they do fit into sort of one mold.
Absolutely. Now, we could talk on more about this for the rest of the time, but I
Yeah.
really want to jump into your book. So your book Streetlight People was just released this month, correct?
Yes, just a couple weeks ago. Hmm.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, it's my second book. It's my sophomore novel. Came out with Penguin Random House, and it is very twisty. It is a hard book to talk about without giving spoilers, and I am slowly getting better at it. But it's about a small town named Streetlight, that's pretty divided across socioeconomic lines.
Okay.
And our main character, Katie, sits on more of the working class side of things. And she goes to the Halloween carnival where she is sort of gifted the ability to control time. And she starts to sort of bend time and streetlight to her whim to try and make life look the way that she would like for it to. And as she ends up uncovering a lot of very dark secrets about where she's lived and realizes that nothing was ever quite what it seemed. So it's unreliable narration. It is twisty. It is a little bit eerie, very strong fall vibes for this time of year. So yeah, it's out now wherever books are sold.
That's interesting. So would you say this is a fantasy novel?
I've heard it called on so I feel like your book is whatever other people say your book is. I think that's sort of what happens the second it gets out into the real world. Um, to me, I think my favorite classification for it so far is more like magical realism.
Mm.
Um, and it's very grounded. So we're very much like in this world, like generally these laws of physics, with the exception of her ability to sort of uh play with time. But I've heard people call it fantasy, people have called it sci-fi. Um,
Speculative.
yeah, I think it's a little bit just sort of within the eye of the beholder. So,
Well, I think it's interesting that it's for me, and I write contemporary women's fiction.
mhm.
I I think that your style of fiction takes a certain talent
Oh,
because
thank
you
you.
are creating basically a world.
Hmm.
You know, when that us normal folks on the outside, we're when I write contemporary women's fiction, I'm writing about the world as it is right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're actually creating worlds with the types of stories that you write. So,
Yeah.
was this a challenge that you really set out to pursue?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because my debut is contemporary. Everything I ever wrote up until then, from 6 years old and on, was contemporary. And then I decided with my sophomore book, I had this idea that I want to try to execute. And I have consistently said ever since I had been writing that book,
Mhm.
that I have such respect for like fantasy authors because this book, Streetlight People, is very grounded. It's very much, basically our world with like a little bit of a twist. And that was hard to execute, like creating the new rules and sort of the magic rules and how it all was going to work was really difficult for me. So the people that are writing fantasy and creating truly like entirely new worlds and like beings and things like that, I just like hats off to them because for me, even doing like this little bit of magic in this story was extremely difficult for me. So I definitely do not consider myself to be a like anywhere close like a fantasy author, but I do try to execute stories that have things that I enjoy,
Mhm.
and little things that make you question the world, like that little sort of what if feeling that a book can give you is one of my favorite feelings. And that was what I was really trying to evoke with Streetlight People. So
Do you
yeah.
have a copy of the book with you?
Yeah, I do. It's actually not within reach. I'm looking at it though. It's like across.
We're back to
I
camera.
know. I need to be better at that. Everybody, I can turn my camera off for a second and get it if you want.
Okay, go ahead and get it. Well,
Okay, I'll be right back. I should be better at this by now, but I'll be right back.
okay. All right, so for everybody who's just joining us, I'm so sorry that I am kind of in the shadows today. But as I mentioned a little earlier, I am visiting family, so I don't have my light set up with me right now. But I didn't mean that I did not want to be a part of the show tonight. So I'm sorry you're not able to see me, but most of y'all have seen me before, so okay. It's okay.
You
So
look great,
okay.
I'm telling you.
Oh, thank you. Well,
This is the book.
yes. Oh, very nice.
Yeah. And
Did you
the
come up with
back.
did you come up with the concept yourself?
Penguin has been really great in terms of working with me with cover direction and has been really supportive of like ideas I've had and things like that. So I did get to have a pretty heavy input. Um, our cover artist, their name is Colin Verdi, incredible, actually is doing the covers of a lot of books right now. So if you happen to open a book, you might see their name in there as like the cover artist. But yeah, it actually it doesn't translate as well on screen, but it's very pretty up close.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from what I do see, it is still very pretty. And I like the fact that it reflects the title, Streetlight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like I said, it's a very eerie, sort of weird small town energy thing. Like the whole time you sort of feel like something isn't right, and then by the end you discover why you've had that feeling. So, yeah.
Mm. So, how did you come up with this story? Because I'm just listening to it. It feels like that person who rock. It feels like Rockwell. I always feel like somebody's watching me. You might be a little young to know about Rockwell. You know about Rockwell?
I know the reference is like the song, It Always Feels Like Somebody's Watching Me, that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the song.
Which
Um,
that is Barry Gordy's son. You know, he only had that one hit.
okay, I know all about Berry Gordy. So I'm back with you. But yeah, so I wanted to write, I would say like thematically at the core of the story, it's really a conversation about power and the power that we waste. Um, and I really wanted to create a story that I think about deja vu a lot and sort of like, what is it really? And you have sort of like the Matrix and things like that that tries to sort of explain it. And
Right.
this book does a little bit of that as well as sort of, maybe it's nothing, but maybe it's everything. Um, and so that those two things were sort of the core of where the ideas sort of grew from.
Got you.
And I wanted to do that in sort of the way that I would do it, which is I really like to create really compelling, believable, flawed characters.
I love a
Um,
good flawed character. I do not like characters that are too perfect.
yeah, I nobody in this book is perfect by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm really character motivated, and I also like to execute plots in a way that feel real to me in the
Okay.
sense that everything doesn't really get tied up like nice and neat in a bow at the end and this sort of like, and then they go off into the sunset. So, yeah, I think that even though it's very different from my debut, it has a lot of similarities in terms of like thematically what we're focused on. And I think the way that I execute it feels very on brand for me.
Gotcha. Well, now we do have a question for the audience. You know, every once in a while we like to do quizzes where people can come up with the answer and they can win a book. So we
Oh,
do a
okay.
question based on your book.
Okay.
So the question is, oh, and I think you gave the answer earlier, but that's okay. They don't know. The author, you, Charlene Thomas, grew up in which Maryland county? So the question is in the chat. The first person to answer the question will receive a book. Hi, Josh.
I feel like we need like Jeopardy music or something.
I know, right? They're gonna pop in there and let's see who comes up with the answer. But in the meantime, we're gonna keep on talking and we'll
Yeah.
see who comes up with the answer. But in the meantime, you have another book already planned for 2025.
Yes. Yes, I do. Feels very fast.
Have you
But
already started writing it? Because you're fast.
yeah, this was fast. I don't think I would do this again. I don't think I would have my debut came out in 2022. My sophomore book, Streetlight People, obviously came out in 2024. 2 years felt like the right amount of time between books to kind of, reground yourself, get another one out,
Yeah,
take a
you hear a
breath.
lot of people say they want to do one book a year, but
Yeah, that's a lot.
I
This
was
was
just
my
gonna
first
say,
time
people don't
experiencing
realize how
that.
hard it is to write one book a year.
It's really hard. Yeah. So this was my first time experiencing that. Um, and I love both of these stories. They're incredibly different. They're so different. But it was an amazing experience. So grateful to have had the opportunity to write both of them. But I don't think it's sustainable for me. I probably won't be a book a year type of author.
I'm not gonna. I will. Now, I did say I was going to write something every year. So when I first got into the industry,
Yeah.
I had have written a book a year, but maybe I would contribute to an anthology or
Yeah.
write type of a short story. But a full length novel once a year is very, very hard. And
Absolutely. And with traditional publishing too, with the way their timelines work,
yes,
you
yes,
know, it's a lot to keep up with. But no, it was great. It's coming out May 6th. It's called It's You Every Time. It's another young adult fiction. It is about a girl named Sydney who has been through her share of tough times, a lot of loss in her life over the past couple of years. And one day she happens to bump into a cute boy named Marcus when she stops in at Dunkin' Donuts when she
once
should be
again,
on her way to school. And they end up having a very cute, sweet day together in New York City. And she is finally feeling like maybe she's reaching the good part, like she's finally gotten there.
mhm.
And as the night is ending, there's something that might be like a car accident. She can't really tell what happens, but she sort of experiences like a ton of pain and then wakes up again in her bedroom the next morning, which happens to be the same morning that she thought she lived yesterday.
Wow.
And she is sort of suddenly trapped in this time loop, and it becomes this question of sort of how do you keep moving forward when the world has stopped spinning?
That
Um,
sounds super, super interesting. Now,
yeah,
when can we expect that book?
May 6th. Yeah.
Okay, May 6th is what we're looking at. But right now, don't wait until May 6th. We have a book right now, Streetlight People,
Yes,
that
there's
was just released 2 weeks ago.
yes. I don't mean to take all of your money. So for now, you can focus on this one.
There you go. Now, I will say that Gwendolyn Hayes got the answer correct. You are from Montgomery County.
That is where I am from.
All right, so congratulations, Gwendolyn. Woo!
I hope
So
you enjoy.
yes, Gwendolyn has won our contest before, so I think you know what to do. Just make sure you DM the National Book Festival Facebook page with your address so we can make sure to get your prize out to you. All right. So it is now 7:58, 8:58 where you are.
Yes.
Normally, normally
Time
it's
flies.
where I am.
Yeah.
But no, I want to thank you for joining me tonight on Black Authors Matter TV. I'm sorry you didn't get to meet Gwen tonight, but I'm quite sure that you guys will connect soon.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast. Time flew by, so that's how you know you're having fun. But yeah, it was great. So thank you.
And thank you. I really appreciate you joining me, and I wish you all the best on your future endeavors. And congratulations once again on your new release.
Thank you so much. All right, well, you guys have fun, and yeah, I'll chat with you later.
All right, you take care. Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye.
All right, so that was Charlene Thomas. And without any further ado, we're going to move to our third guest. Oh my goodness, the time is just flying by. I don't know what's going on. And normally, I get a little nervous when I do the show by myself because you never know if you never know if you're going to be able to do the whole show because it's a 2-hour show, but you guys have been great. The interaction has been wonderful and the authors have been amazing. So our next author is a good friend of mine. It's going to be Marvin O'Brien. Hey, Marvin. Um, baby, you gotta unmute so we can hear you though. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I hear you wonderfully.
All right. You the same. Good to see you.
It's good seeing you. Yeah, it's
Good to
great.
be seen. Yeah.
What have you been up to these days?
Busy, busy, busy. Just trying to finish up a few things, working on a few projects down in Arkansas,
Okay.
in the film business, in the film area, and just home projects. And here too, trying to meet with a few people as far as getting some film done this year, at least one or two. I'm working on four projects in Arkansas.
Oh, yeah, you are busy. You are busy. Well, I'm in your neck of the woods right now. I'm in Katy, Texas. Visiting my
Hey,
family for Thanksgiving.
yes,
That's why my setup looks a little different today.
yeah, you're your brothers,
My nephews.
your nephew. There you go. The barber. The
Yeah, so
barber.
for those of you who don't know, Marvin was one of our featured authors last year for my company's Black History Month Literary Weekend. And he made such an impression on everybody. And I think it's really Marvin's charm that got that school to invite us to come visit them at the very last minute, if you remember that.
Yeah, yeah. The last minute, but we did it.
We did it. They had a good time. They invited us to come back this year.
Yeah, I plan on being there too. Yeah, we had a wonderful time.
Yes, yes, we did. Yes, we did. So
Yes,
now, before we jump in there, because we can talk about all kinds of stuff, and I know you're a talker anyway, but
yes.
go ahead and tell the audience who may not have met you yet, all about yourself.
Oh, I don't have enough time. Anyway, I'll start with a little bit. I'm just a old country guy from Pine Bluff, Little Rock, Arkansas, by way of Dallas, Texas now. And after sports and all that good stuff, and being a barber for right at 25 some years, I kind of wanted to break into something different. And so I asked God about it. He basically told me to go back to my first love, which was writing. Writing was from seventh grade. That's where I first started writing songs, and I had a little band group, so I was lead singer and can't sing a lick, but I uh I wrote songs for us to sing, and I put it down when I started playing sports. And then after sports was over and barbering was over for me, I picked it back up like maybe 20 years ago and just started writing film stories that I've run across, stories that I've heard, and putting them all together, collaborating stuff. And so I finally decided to write a book about my life. My barber book is called Uncle Barber now. And it's just my whole life being a barber, all the ups and downs, good times, bad times. And
Yeah, I
it's,
remember us talking about that. You actually made barbering a pretty lucrative business for yourself.
oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Best thing ever happened to me at the time. Best thing. I don't know another area I could have went into so easy and do so well.
Mm.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. But now I moved on from that. People always ask, "You cut hair? Where you cutting it now?" I don't have no desire. I don't even like even going in barbershops no more. I love the people. I miss them, but
You say you
that
don't like
that
going to the barber shop. Your head is looking pretty smooth up there, so you must be doing something.
in the bathroom, I have still got some clippers and I do it myself. Yeah, do it myself, man. So, but I love the barber business. It's a great business for a lot of young men who don't
Yes.
know really which way to go, especially in the early 20s, and some 30s.
Yeah,
But
my nephew, who I'm visiting right now, started his own barbering business, and he is doing pretty well with it. I see some of his work on Instagram. Like, okay, you're one of those people who does the transformations, make people look all different after they get a good haircut.
yes, that's the joy of it when you can see the before and after. And I got to get down there to meet him because I got so many pointers. Your mom, I promised her that I will get there, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Katie's just right around the corner from me, so say after the holidays, I'm gonna make it my business to go maybe on a Sunday and just sit with him for a couple of hours,
Oh,
grab
I
some coffee or
would
something.
love that. That's so nice.
Yeah, I've been there and done it in the barber business. I have.
Yeah, I think that everybody, no matter what industry you go into, whether it's barbering, whether it's writing, or what have you, it's good to have a mentor, somebody who can just kind of point you in the right direction.
Yes, yes, yes. So this part of my life, I call it chapter 57. I'll be 58 real soon, a couple of months, several months.
Okay.
I'm about giving back to the youth and anybody that's battling with problems that they can't seem to shake. That's what I want to do, male or female. I want to be able to speak to them in the way I had to do it. I didn't really have a mentor at the time when I went through starting the barber business, and at the end of it, I basically just had God, to go to, and he little bit by little bit coached me how to do it.
Mhm.
And because I tell people I'm self-made. I didn't get the chance to get all that good info that I want to give.
Right, right.
And I'm bubbling over with knowledge and wisdom. And, they say the best teaching is failure, because you know what to do now when you get back on your time. The biggest problem with a lot of male and female is getting back up. You know,
Mm,
nobody want to help you when you laying on the ground. You
right.
have to stand up.
People like to align themselves with winners, but I think sometimes people forget that winners also suffer losses every once in a while. And if
Oh,
you're only trying to align people who are constantly winning, they're
yes,
either making they're either only showing you the highlight reel, as our last guest said. Social media is just the highlight reel. We don't put our losses on there. We only put our wins on there.
yes, yes,
And
yes,
so it's very hard to align yourself with somebody who's constantly winning. Every once in a while, you're going to take a loss.
yes. Exactly. And so
Learn
I
from.
I tell people too, Miss Lawson, you can tell a person 50 times yes, why yes. And they'll smile with you, you they girl, you my boy,
Mhm.
whatever. But you say no one time and it erase all those yeses.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so for me to go undefeated in football, that's good. But I'd rather go 11-1 and go to the Super Bowl than to go undefeated and lose.
Mm.
So yeah, losing is always good. It's great knowledge, great knowledge. You know, uh, it is what it is. But a lot of people don't want to lose, but losing is good sometimes. Losing is
Yeah,
good. It strengthens you.
you're right
Um,
about that. Now you have a book with a very striking title. I woke up black.
yes, yeah, right here. I don't know if you can
There
see
it
it.
is.
Yes, I
Hold
woke up
it,
black.
hold it up a little bit higher.
Okay, there
Yeah,
you go.
there we go. There we go. I want everybody to see the whole cover.
Yes, yes, yes. And this book is basically just uh, I got so tired of hearing all the I messed around. I was doing something. I was off work, and I saw every morning. I woke up, I had a lot of free time on my hand. I would go through my feeds on my phone. And I see Farrakhan, 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 and I got so many friends went to the Million Man March. I didn't get a chance to go, and so I was like, Farrakhan is basically telling us what we already know. He's just opening our eyes up to it where we might have went to sleep on it. What could I do to really let people know what it's like waking up black in a small country town, dealing with racism all around us, and everybody just walking around as if it doesn't exist. And so I just wanted to write something totally to let people know how I felt about it. And everybody that knows me know I'm not a racist person, prejudiced in no kind of way. But
Well,
I've been through a lot. Been
I'm,
through a lot with it.
yeah, I think that the title is striking
Thank
because
you.
it almost sounds like I went to sleep. When I went to sleep, I was a different race, but when I woke up, I was black, or I just realized I was black. I mean,
Yes.
what exactly do you mean by that?
Well, I was raised to where I didn't see color. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
see color. And even though I went through a lot of racist things, I still didn't judge. I didn't see color. I just knew, you didn't go on that side of the tracks and play, you stayed over here. Um, when we went downtown, you didn't touch anything. You stayed, you held your mom's hand. And so I just, I grew up with that. But until real racism started happening to me as an adult, even through college.
Mm-hmm.
First day in college in Oklahoma, me and my buddies, we go to like a Walmart or something, small little bitty store, Woolworths or something. We needed a few things for our room, so we went in to buy them, and they followed us around the store the whole time.
Right. And it still happens today.
I'm like, I mean, down every aisle, and
No, I haven't
and
had. I'm late for the show. I had a rehearsal. I had a choir rehearsal. I had to go to a special one. But welcome, Marvin, to the show. And
hey,
and I haven't had anybody follow me in the stores in a while. It
yeah,
only happens to me at the Galleria. Rhonda,
yeah,
have you been to the Galleria in Houston? It's a really high-end mall.
yes,
I
I've
have
been there.
not, but you're
That's
right.
where it
Those
happens.
types of places, they like we can't possibly be able to afford
Right.
what's.
Right. And when I went into a Louis Vuitton store, I wasn't planning on buying anything. I really went in there looking at what the prices were to see why would people pay that for just. I don't know if the quality is supposed to be like it lasts 25 years. I don't know, but the prices were absurd, so I wasn't gonna buy anything. But anyway, Marvin, I was listening to your what you were talking about. You didn't really experience prejudice or racism till you went to college. And
Well, no. I experienced it before then, but the way I was raised, you overlooked it. You overlooked it. So it really didn't bother
oh,
me. Oh,
okay,
listen. When I was about
okay.
8 years old, I was at a cousin house, and I'll be real quick. And I was sitting outside. My grandma went inside, and she was going to be there a couple of hours. So I snuck off because I saw some little Caucasian guys at the end of the block playing, playing and stuff on their bike. I said, I'm gonna walk down there. I'll be back before we get ready to leave. And so, like a cow trailer, that they haul cows in.
Yeah. Mhm.
It was a lot there that sold cow trailer. That's what they were kind of playing. And it was about to get dark. We played for about 30 minutes. Next thing I know, it was getting dark. We playing in the horse trailer. Next thing I know, they locked me in. They ran out and
Mm,
locked me in. It's about five of them. They locked me in. I
mm.
couldn't get out. And so it's getting dark, and my grandma don't know where I went. Just so happens it was a guy coming by had been to the store, older man. And I say, excuse me, sir, can you help me get out of here? And he came and all he did was unlatch the latch from the outside. But I was too young to think, stick my hand out there. And he asked me as the door was open, what are you doing in there? And I just broke out running and ran off. And that really hurt me because I thought they were my friends for 30 minutes. So, but I never let that stick with me because I moved on. God has blessed me through the great grandmother that I've been raised with. To forgive, forgive, forgive. They know not what they do. Anybody, I don't hold grudges. I don't do anything like that. But when I got to college and said, wait a minute, and stuff, this is too much. And then here in Texas, trying to rent a space, I've owned like 4 or 5 barbershops. And I was trying to get a barbershop in this one shopping center, very nice shopping center. And the guy who owned the shop, he had Caucasian women working up front and had black women working in the back behind the wall. So I asked him one day, I said, y'all think I ought to put a barber shop next door? Y'all do women's hair, he do all women's hair. So when I called him and he said, okay, he said, but well, so when he said, what kind of shop you put in? I said, barber shop. He said, what race? I say, Afro-American barber shop. He said, oh no, I would never lease to
Wow.
Afro-American. And I'm like 30. I'm like, huh? Okay. But I finally wind up getting into that shopping center. 10 years later, he had sold it. And They wasn't
Then
racist.
the new owner
They
had,
took me in.
a different program.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just so much that I don't try to check nobody. Even with speaking, I drive Lyft every day right now for like the last 7 8 years. And people get in your car as if you are a robot, and I say
Right.
hello. They won't say nothing. I say, excuse me, how you doing today? Then they might. So what I to write in this book is not just for I wrote it for all other races, but I wrote it for us too. Because there's some things we got to overlook. We can't, I didn't say let nobody disrespect you, but we got to move on. We got to get ours. We can't keep worrying about thinking somebody's gonna give us something. We got to get it. And I try to let people know that I'm so proud to be the color race I am. And when I say I woke up black, what I mean is I didn't have nothing to do with the color of my skin. God wanted me to be black, and I'm proud of that. Because there's no other race of people that has endured all the obstacles and still standing.
That's true.
And so I don't talk too much on it, but when I talk to my people, I basically let them know, man, you are kings and queens. We're not people. We're not Negroes. We're not Afro. We are kings and queens. And I really wish we would stop saying each other's, hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up? Good morning, queen. Good morning, king. And that should be the new, because we are kings and queens. We just don't know it.
That has become popular.
Oh, when I found out there is no such thing as an ugly person, because we're supposed to judge from the inside. We try to, oh man, she ain't that attractive, or he's not that handsome. But the inside, if you get to know that person, inside will overwhelm all of that. They'll start being beautiful on the inside and outside.
Yeah. Well, there are some people who are ugly on the inside.
This is
A
Oh,
lot
of
of times.
course. Of course.
That outside appearance can really be
And guess what? They can be cute, pretty, and handsome on the
on the
outside,
outside.
like you said. And but the real reason a lot of that is because of their upbringing and what they've been experienced. When we talk about, and that's a whole nother subject of abuse and neglect. Like I tell people this, Miss Alexander, Miss Lawson, the definition of a bully. And now I don't know that definition. I just know Marvin O'Brien's definition. And that is a person that is hurt, person that have been abused mentally, physically. But behind all that toughness, and it's a shield, it's a front that they use so you can never find out the weakness or what they have inside. But once you get to know that person, they're the nicest person in the world. They'll protect you. They'll go out their way to help you do anything. Well, you say, man, I need you. Everybody else gone, but I still got some more work to do. They'll tell you, let's go on, knock it on out then. They just want a real friend. I've never met a bully yet that I couldn't crack. And I've never met a mean lady that I couldn't make love. What I mean by that, by telling her,
you never met a what lady?
a
I missed
mean,
mean,
disrespectful lady
right.
that I couldn't crack, because I pull up to the side and let them know, you're so beautiful. Why are you so mean? Why are you always frowning? Why you talk to people like that? And they'll start to open up. Ain't nobody ever done nothing for me. Ain't nobody this and that and the other. I said, yeah, but you got to give people a chance. So guess what? Can I have a hug? Oh, you make me sick. I don't like you because I'm getting to you. In a fun way, I'm saying. I've never met people, even in the Caucasian world, it doesn't matter. I crack people because I let them know I love you. I don't care if you're mad. It don't make no difference. I love you anyway. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Now let's go get something to eat. Come on, go eat.
some of it is, a lot of it is personality. I don't recall ever befriending somebody who bullied me. When you were saying that, I'm thinking back on the bullies that I've experienced, and I haven't befriended anybody who bullied me. I can't think of any of them. They
Well,
were
I,
mean. They were mean.
I've never
They-
befriended somebody who bullied me, but I am friends with a couple of people who we didn't like each other at first.
That's true. Now that part is different from a bully.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
different.
some of my really close friends, we didn't get off on the right foot. You know, sometimes circumstances, the way people meet, it might not be the best situation, and they have to have a meeting of the minds in a different setting or a different situation. And then, yeah, that's happened several times. But somebody who bullied me, and I haven't really been. I was bullied as a kid because I was small, but and some people think they can bully me now because I'm still small for but they can't, and I don't, it doesn't bother me now because I don't respond to bullies. It doesn't work, period, on me. But
Well, I understand.
when I was
It's just
younger, it did because I was scared because I was small. I always had a big person that would come to my rescue. God was looking out for me. It was always some big person that would come and defend me and tell the bully they weren't going to bother me. That happened.
I just, and when I say it doesn't matter what race, to give you an example, I was in jail one time, just for like tickets or whatever. And when I was right here in Dallas, I was there for like maybe 8 hours, maybe 10. But there was this Caucasian guy and everybody hated his guts. He was very racist. And he didn't care if you knew, he wanted you to know it. Very racist. And everybody wanted to jump. And so, guess what? I had some money on my book, so I had to eat something. Bumpers on top of mine. I say, man, come on down. We're going to grab something to eat. He said, yeah, I want something to eat. I don't mind. I said, listen, talk to you. What you doing? He just said he's been brought up to be racist. He don't care. He never about blacks. His granddaddy taught him that. He was in a real racist motorcycle gang and all that. So I said, why? But that's them teaching you. What about you though? He said, well, that's all I know. And he was in I was probably 29, 30. So he said these words. He said that I come up in a racist, abusive family. My mom and dad was alcoholics. And my granddaddy, I came home from school one day and caught him on top of my sister. So I ran away. Huh?
His grandpa?
His granddad.
Ooh.
So he ran away and he was homeless. And so he started emptying trash at this motorcycle place with some very racist Harley Davidson type guys, leather. The next thing you know, one of the guys gave him a motorcycle and he joined the gang. And they were very racist, like skinheads. And so I explained to him all that. Next thing I know, I said, the guys always calling me. They was calling me, hey, come on, big man, let's play domino. Let's play spades. I said, you know how to play. And I said, come go with me. And everybody looking at me like, what you bringing him over here for? But I had to make a point. So now listen, this is a true story. They called my name that next morning. He told me, he said, man, I like you. I said, well, he said, like, I said, what you gonna do when you get out of here? I said, I don't know. I hope my friends still got my motorcycle. I was thinking about it. He said, I got a tent that I sleep in. I'm thinking about going to Arkansas and just live in the woods and live off the land. I said, well, I'm from Arkansas. Oh, yeah. I got him to smiling. So here's the part that got me. When they called me in the middle of the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, O'Brien, roll up. You your ticket's been paid. Come on. Just waiting on paperwork. He got out of his bed, walked me to the gate, and hugged me. That's the fake I make on anybody. I just break them. I don't know how I do it. I just do it. So I wrote this book so that I even talk about what. Go ahead.
No, I just show a copy of the book yet, Rhonda?
Say what now?
Did she show the copy of the book yet?
Yeah.
You can show it again.
Okay, yeah, because I missed it.
Let me put it up high. Can you see?
Okay. So I assume that's you on the cover.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So I've written 10 books now. and 5 of them are getting published right now. I've done
Are
5
they
or
also
finished.
gonna do with She Publishing?
Yes.
Okay, well, good. Now,
Yes.
how did you get connected with She Publishing?
A good friend of mine who went through a publisher that I went to high school with. She was just trying something. She's good at, she got the job done, but he wasn't she wasn't experienced enough to get him the book signings and to put him out there. So he found She Publishing. He was telling me, well, I'm not going to use this lady again. I'm going to use, I got a new one. I said, well, he was telling me all she did. I said, whoa, that's a lot. I said, okay. I said, I need that number. And man, me and her talked about 2 hours on the phone the first time. And so I said, man, I'm
You
ready
doing
to rock
most of
with
the
you.
talking, Marvin.
Say it again.
That was probably you doing most of the talking.
Probably was. She did a lot of listening. But
most
hey,
most of the people who end up signing with She Publishing have a similar story to tell about just the personal touch that Shanita
oh
put
my
for her
God.
authors.
Her, I
They
thought she was
really
the
feel special.
greatest until I met her mom. I said, oh my goodness, y'all are
Oh,
just
I love
double
her
trouble.
mom. Her mom looked like
Y'all,
she could be her sister.
So when did you meet her mom, Rhonda? How come you met
I
the
just
mom
met
and
her
I
in
did?
Houston. I just met her. Oh, I just met her in Houston.
She comes to the National Black Book Festival with her every
Well,
year.
well, maybe I didn't know it was her mom. I never met her.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't know
they don't look like it. Yeah, they look like they be the same age pretty much.
I'm always sequestered at the the desk. So it's a
You've
lot
seen,
of people.
you've seen her though. You've seen her mom. You just
I
didn't
just
realize.
didn't know it was her mom. Okay, I had no idea she brought her mom with her. And that's
Yeah.
amazing.
And that young lady you with right there, she's awesome. I went out to DC. Oh man, everything was beautiful, lovely, lovely. Her mom is the greatest as well. She made me uh toast and jelly sandwich when I got there. I was so wore out and broke down. She got up and cooked toast and jelly, and her husband had all kind of cookies. I'm a
Oh, the
diabetic
cookie
trying to shake
man.
it. I
Yes.
sat at the table that morning, ate jelly sandwich, then ate about 3 cookies, man. I said, ooh, I'm gonna have to lay down somewhere. I laid down on her couch, man. Ooh, just great hospitality that you can't believe that. You don't believe that people nowadays do that kind of thing. People don't open their house up to you and let you lay down and the first time seeing you. You don't get that. So we
Yeah.
need more
My
people
mom's
like,
still asking about you, Marvin.
hey, tell her I say we're gonna get to that grandson of hers, great nephew, great grandson.
That is that's who I'm visiting here in Katy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tell her I say hello, definitely. I mean, the hospitality when they rolled me around after the show. I told them go home. I know y'all need some rest. They're like, no, we're gonna take you see Howard University. I don't know where they got the energy from, but they showed me a wonderful time. That's why I'll always go back. Always tell
Yeah,
people about it.
Rhonda's right. Well, she's in the Houston metro, but she's probably 40 minutes from where I am.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Katie,
Yeah. But how long are you gonna be in Katy, Rhonda? How long are you gonna be here?
We're leaving Friday morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna get a chance to see you on this trip
Well,
because I'm cooking. I'm cooking, so I got tomorrow's food prep day,
right.
and so I have to. And I'm still putting up I'm decorating the tree because Thanksgiving's at our house. So
my tree up 2 weeks ago.
see, I couldn't put my tree
It's
up because I
hard.
had to wait for Robert to put the tree up, and
Okay.
and then we went to Austin, and so our schedules didn't coincide. So I had to wait for him to get it and just put it up because it's too much for me to do, and but my lights are out on my house. That's what I wanted to get done. Beautiful blue lights. I love the blue lights. So it's really when you turn the corner and you see we live on a corner, so when you turn the corner, you see our house first. I'm
Right.
excited about that. I had to take a picture and post it.
Marvin, you decorating for Christmas?
Yes. Matter of fact, I'm going to Arkansas tomorrow, but I'll be back Saturday, and I'm gonna put it up Saturday. Get ready, few lights, at least one or two little strip trees. Like I don't go out of the way. I don't do all the exotic stuff on the trees or, just around one window or something. And I have two trees. One in front of one. I got one little one that I bought to sit on the bar. It lights up
Okay.
too. And a few little Santa Claus shaking or whatever. Got that. But it's all about what's in your heart. Ain't gonna be a bunch of gifts under there. Every day is Christmas to me.
I love Christmas time. It's my, Christmas was always a special time. My mother made it special. And so I try to make it special for my family ever since
Yes.
I got married, and had a family. And hopefully my daughter will continue the tradition because we had great Christmases. It was always decorated, cheerful. We got what we wanted. And that was exciting. And I don't know how my parents even did it, but I don't, they didn't wrap our presents and put them under the tree. What they would do is we would go to sleep, and then when we got up, all of our gifts would be in a room.
That's the fun. That's the fun part. It's like Santa Claus came.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's the way they did
That's how
it.
mine was too.
And so, and we didn't hear anything. We didn't even hear them putting the stuff out. I don't know.
Well, they made us go to bed about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we had to go to bed,
so
but we weren't
sound
asleep. And you know what? We would be looking up at the sky and saying, "Wow, that's Santa!" And it was an airplane, I'm sure, but we would be looking, thinking it was Santa Claus. Children's imaginations. It's just a carefree time, and I wish all children had, a carefree time with Christmas and holidays, because I know not all children do.
Nah.
And
I had a reality check when I turned 17, I think it was. I'm used to getting 5, 10 gifts from my grandma, great grandma, my mama, aunties. When I turned 17, I got a pair of socks and a wallet. And I asked my girl, where everything is? Well, that's it for you.
You're grown now. Christmas is for kids.
Christmas I ain't had no money to put in the wallet either. Yeah, it was sad Christmas that year, man.
Well, then it's your turn to start giving gifts to others.
Yeah.
You have to look at other people. Now, where are you based out of? I don't know. I may have missed that.
Mesquite, Texas, right?
Yes.
Mesquite, you're in Mesquite, Texas. So that's in the Dallas area.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Way up Arkansas. I got to throw that in because that's my home. That's love right there.
Okay. Yeah, Arkansas. A lot of people don't. Well, some people may not know Arkansas and Texas touch.
Yeah, we're kindreds.
And if you go on 59 Texas, then there's a Texarkana, Texas, and a Texarkana, Arkansas. Yeah. Like when you cross the line, you're in Texarkana, Arkansas. But it's the same city in 2 different states.
So are we chilling with Marvin a little longer?
We are. I don't know if you got my message, but our final guest was on a plane trip coming back from a funeral. And her flight got delayed so that she's on the plane. She's on the plane now.
Oh,
she was supposed to have been already at her destination so she could do the show, but she's on the flight now, so she wasn't able to do it. We have to reschedule her.
Angela.
So we can spend a few more minutes with Marvin, and also I have the book to give away.
Oh, we already gave the book.
Oh, you did? So who got it?
Gwen Hayes got it.
Oh, Gwen Hayes got it. Okay, well, this is an actual book. It's not an ARC. So they sent us a hard copy. And I hate that I missed the interview with Charlene.
Yeah, she was a great interview. We had some great authors tonight, present company included. Yeah, I mean it flowed. It really flowed. I really enjoyed the interviews, and I was happy to fill in for you.
Well, we trade off sometimes. It's a package. The show is both of us, and sometimes on some nights, one of us can't be here the whole night or part of the night, but
Right.
we always have a show. The only time we've canceled the show, I think the only time we actually canceled was when we had the hurricane in July.
Right.
Because we had no power.
Right. And we couldn't connect. Well, no, there was
no, and Robert didn't have any power.
Yeah,
so
well, there was one time we had to cancel because for some reason, Zoom and Facebook weren't connecting and we couldn't broadcast.
Okay. That was in the very beginning. Like the first year. We did have that happen when we couldn't get Zoom, we couldn't get it to work. And so we just had to cancel. That was like maybe the first few months of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But we the only time we had to actually cancel was, other than that, was when it was Hurricane Beryl, and it was in July of this year, and there were 2.5 million people in Houston out of power. And a lot of them we were out for 4 days. Some people were out for 2 weeks in the middle of the summer. It was just horrible. It was, it took 2 weeks for people to get all the power back on. And so things happen. And because our show is live and it's not taped, we do sometimes fall victim to the elements or whatever's going on. The good thing is that if I can't broadcast from here, Rhonda can broadcast from where she is. So
yeah, that's why I'm sitting in the dark and Katie.
Yeah, you lit up pretty good though. Lit up pretty good.
Better than this. You can see me. You can normally see me as well as you can see Gwen.
Yeah, this is not her normal setup, but we can do the show from anywhere. One time, and this is a good time to kind of reminisce as we have some time. The one time we lost power, we had the deep freeze. So that was in 2021, the deep freeze in Houston, where we lost power because of the deep freeze. And so we had no power. And I did the show in my daughter's car because I didn't want to open the garage and put my car out, because then I couldn't lock, it's on power. So I had to put it on manual. I didn't want to do all that. So I did the show from inside my daughter's car. And it was cold. It was dark. There were no lights anywhere in the neighborhood. It was really, really, really cold. But we don't make excuses for not doing a show. Some shows are not dependable. They may air or they may not air. And then some are sporadic. Like some people just have things where they do something for 20 minutes and it's kind of random. But this show we're every Tuesday from 7 to 9 Central, and have been for over 4 years. And we've interviewed over 700 people.
Wonderful. 701.
Well, no, we passed 701.
No, I say I'm number 701.
No, you're not. I'm saying you're probably 708 or something like that.
Okay. Right.
We recently crossed the 700 mark.
Right. Okay.
But it was just 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we have been on the show, and we are able to have people on when they do new releases and, new authors that are just getting started. Like the first author tonight I wasn't on, but he was a debut novelist.
Yeah, he was an interesting interview too.
So, we have all kinds. We have well-known, people have been published and have 100 books. And then we have people that have 1 book. And then we have people who are not authors. We have a lot of people who are not authors at all. We have bookstores, book clubs, people with book projects, people just in the industry in general, just anybody in books. So we covered the gamut. So what are your plans for Do you have? You said you have 5 books you're publishing through She. Are they all through She Publishing?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, and we've already did 2 of them, and I'm about to do the covers for those. And then after the holidays, I'm gonna do the other 3. They've already been written and everything. It's just getting them, letting her publish it, and find the right covers to fit the front cover. Covers everything. I went back
Yeah.
and changed like 3 of my covers on my first 2 or 3 books. I didn't know, I thought when you do your first book, everything looks good until you go 2 years and see other people's stuff. And social media really has blown up in the last 2 or 3 years to where so many people are showing you different graphic designs. We're like, whoa, where was it when I did mine? I went back and changed a few covers and even changed a few titles. I found out that you don't need a very long title. They can ruin your book. Long title. And so my book about me being a barber was the title. And it was the truth. From barber to baller, broke to back again. So I was at a school speaking in Houston, a barber school, by 60 students. This one guy, he didn't finish. I had my backdrop up. He didn't read the bottom of the backdrop. He read the part from barber to baller to broke. He said, "Oh, I don't want to talk to nobody been broke." He got up and walked out. And so, he was very rude, very rude. So at the end of the day, he came back and bought a book and apologized. He said, "Oh man, the owner told me that that's not what the book was about. You didn't read the bottom of the whole deal." And he came back and he apologized. No, it's okay. It's okay. But the average person probably would have been very offended. I just don't let stuff like that. If I got 60 here, I ain't worried about the one.
Yeah. Well, normally you don't, when you write a book, you're past broke. So you're trying to tell people how you got out of being broke. You don't normally hit rock bottom and then write a book about being at the bottom. You normally write it about being victorious, being triumphant, even when you were in the stage of being broke. And broke is a temporary situation.
But I even when I go shopping for a book now, I look for short, powerful titles. All the way to the end, I don't even pay that no attention. Give me some big word, 2 or 3 big words. That what makes me grab in that cover. What does that cover tell the story other than the words? I like to see the story in the cover. What is this about? This got to be, Right. Even when I used to go to Blockbusters and pick movies off the shelf, I looked at the title and I looked at the cover. Yeah.
Say it again. Go to Block. See, you see fun just to go to Blockbuster because you see all your friends.
Oh, yeah, that could have been a hangout.
Yeah, at the time, Blockbuster was popular. We couldn't have imagined the world we are in now, where everything is streaming and you don't even have to leave home.
I'm telling you.
And you can just see.
I spent a lot of money at Blockbuster, man.
Ooh. Yeah, we did too, and especially on late fees.
Oh my goodness!
And
I probably still owe them right now.
But you better make sure you rewind that tape.
Yeah, all that.
I don't remember you rewinding the tape.
Yeah, you have to rewind the tape, or else they charge you for that too.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I used to be embarrassed because I would rent like 5 or 6 at one time. I think 5 or 6 was the limit. And I have them in the wrong cases, and the people be popping
up. Oh, yeah, you had to have them in the right case. That's
standing there looking crazy, like everybody standing behind you. And I know that worker saying, you could have put these movies back in it right.
And then, you rent so many, and you don't have time to watch them in a weekend.
Yeah. That's right.
And that's how you end up with the late fees. But you kind of wanted to get them before. Because sometimes you couldn't get them. Sometimes it would be weeks before you could get the one you wanted. And so sometimes you just get them and you just would eat the fees. But those fees added up.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately,
I have to run because, like I said, I'm in my family's house. So I have to log off a little bit early. But
Okay.
I really enjoyed catching up with you, Marvin.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're gonna make sure we stay in touch, and I'm gonna make sure I introduce you to my nephew before I leave town.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me on the show. And all my doors are always open. If you ever
Well,
need
you don't have
anybody.
to rush off. Gwen's still there.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if she
Yeah,
had to go too.
Rhonda has to log off. Oh, and you need to switch it back over to me.
Yeah, let me do that before I
Yeah,
forget.
because otherwise I won't have the controls to log Robert on. So when he does the outro, I can admit him.
Right, right. So let's see here. Let me do that.
Yeah, it's when we do this show, it's really a blessing.
Yes.
Because we just we meet so many people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all
So
about.
Rhonda, tell your relatives happy Thanksgiving and have a safe trip back to the DMV. And I'll see you next Tuesday.
All righty.
Awesome. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Talk to you
Thanksgiving.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Yeah. So while we're we have a few minutes left. As a matter of fact, if you can hold on 1 second, Marvin, I need to
Yes.
get my phone so I can check for comments and things like that.
Mhm.
I will be right back in 15, 20 seconds.
Okay.
And okay, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully I was hoping it would work like it's supposed to. And I wanted to check to see if we have any comments, if people have anything they want to say about just books that they have read or books that authors that they might want to hear from in the future. And if they had any questions for Marvin. And see, I didn't have an opportunity to check that. So, and Rhonda may have been looking all along. She said Gwen Hayes won the book. So I need to make sure that I send her book.
Okay.
But Marvin, what if you could point to one thing that motivated you to first start writing your book? Because a lot of people they have a story to tell, but they don't know how to get started. And normally there's some kind of trigger that makes them write that book.
Yes, all the time. I get people all the time. Oh, I got a book I need to write. I've been trying to write it for 10 years and
Yeah.
I keep picking up, putting it. I don't know where to start.
Yes.
For me, yes, all the time. I get people all the time. Oh,
that's me. That's me doing a faux pas. Go ahead.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay. It was easy for me to pick up the pen because, like I said, writing in the 7th grade, to sit down and in the 7th grade and write a song. I sold a song in 7th grade. I sold my song to. You remember the old Right On magazine?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I used to get them every month because I get to see who all the latest are, the Jackson 5 and the Silvers. But in the back of that,
the posters, they had.
oh yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
they had an article in the back of that magazine say, "We want to buy your song." Well, I wrote a song, and I wrote it just like on manuscript paper and a pencil, and I folded it up, put it in an envelope, got a stamp, and sent it to them to that address. And they sent me a letter back saying they would buy it for $75. Well, I'm in the 7th grade. They sent me a check, so I checked yes, and they sent me a check for $75 in my name, and my mama had to go cash it for me. So
wow.
I had confirmation.
I never knew they even did that. Now, one
Yeah,
thing that you might not know, I'm gonna tell you something about Right On that you might not know, or you might know about it.
Mhm.
They had pen pals. I was a letter writer from like a little kid.
I remember
wrote
that.
letters.
That's right.
I wrote letters to the president of the United States.
Wow.
And he wrote back. I got a letter bag.
Yeah, I remember that now.
But I was always writing letters. So I had, when I was in high school, they had a pen pal thing in there in the back or somewhere in Right On where you could pick a pen
Yes,
pal.
I remember.
And I had a pen pal all through high school.
Oh.
And here's the really ironic thing. You know, I lost touch with her, but she had a kind of unusual name.
Mhm.
And I knew where she was from. So about a year ago, I went on Facebook and I found her.
Get out of here.
And I've reached out to her and she remembered.
Get
And
out of
even
here.
now, yeah, I found that my pen pal from my high school
Awesome.
years on
Awesome.
Facebook. So, and that was, we just like would write back and forth about what we were studying in school, our boyfriends. We talk
Yeah.
about that.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
But that, that was, people wrote letters back then. And,
What inspired me was my 7th grade English teacher, Miss Walker, at Southeast Middle School in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I was so into writing to where, because I had this band group. I'm the youngest one in the band called Ice Cold Band.
okay.
And all these guys were like in the 10th, 11th grade. I'm in the 7th grade, but I'm the leader. I'm the lead singer. And
Oh, okay.
and so we didn't have any songs. I was like, I don't want to do everybody's song on the radio because we
You
did
didn't
it
want,
well.
okay. So you
We were
wanted to
playing
do
in
your own
nightclubs
song.
when I was in the 7th grade. And
Wow.
so
So
for
what kind
grown
of
people,
songs were y'all singing?
SOS Band,
Okay.
the Gap Band, and
Okay.
uh,
I'm an old school music aficionado. I
yeah,
if it's old school R&B, I know it.
man,
And I
we
had
did it.
probably had the vinyl before I gave my vinyl collection away. But
Yeah.
so you all did like SOS band because
Oh, we did. Oh man.
we used
And
to pretend to be bands too. Now I never did perform in public like that, but we used to like go over each other's houses and pretend to be in a group, a girl group,
oh
or even with the Jackson Five, we would sing their
yeah,
songs.
man, we played at the Pine Bluff Convention Center in front of a crowd,
Oh, you
all
did.
nightclubs, and like I say, by me being the lead singer, man, I just want to do my own stuff sometime, and like I was saying, I would get to my English class, Miss Walker, because she's kind of easygoing. She was an older lady, but easygoing. I would finish my little homework first so I could finish my song in class. As soon as school, I got to go to band practice right down the street with my group. So I got to have these lyrics made. And I never forget one day she was standing behind me and she said, "Give me that." And I grabbed it because I thought she was going to snatch it. I said, "No, Miss Walker, I can't give you this now. You can't tear this up. I got to practice." She said, "Give it here." I said, "No, Miss Walker, you don't tear my music up." She said, "What?" And she read it right there. I'm watching her make sure, because I'm ready to snatch it back if she go to rip it. She said, "Who wrote this?" I said, "I did." She said, "You didn't write this." I said, "Yes, what I'm working on now." She said, "Well, listen, you keep this up, you're going to be rich one day." And that was my confirmation
Mm-hmm.
to keep writing. But so many friends, the band broke up.
Okay.
Um,
Well, they
and
always do,
we
but
broke up at early
well,
in
I
some,
shouldn't say always, but
yeah,
almost always.
yeah,
Almost
almost.
always.
So I got into football. Everybody's like, "Hey, you need to come on play football," and I did. So I didn't want to play football, but I did, and I wound up being pretty good at football. So I went to college on a football scholarship. So I didn't write anymore, since 7th grade. So that's why
Oh.
it's so easy for me to write a book because I've been blessed to have stories. And a lot of people don't understand. I was raised by my great grandparents, not my mother. My mother raised me too, but my grandmother raised me too. My mama's mama's mama who raised
No,
me. And
and
so,
I can relate to that because my husband was raised by his great grandmother.
hey, listen. And so all my
Yeah.
friends in the neighborhood at the age of 5 and 6, they're in their 70s. So I would sit on their porch and listen to all these stories all day long. They tell me about this person and their family, or where they from. And so and when I'm a good listener, I like just looking at people's mouth and watching them. I don't talk, I just listen as a kid. So one of my cousins, cousin Mary said, "You've been a storyteller all your life. I can tell you a story off the top of my head, and it'd be make believe, you know." So, but it's really coming so good right now that the writing. If I pick up a pen, I can write probably 30 pages, pull over the side of the road, you know.
Oh, okay. Now that first song that you got $75 for it, what did they do anything with it?
I do not
Did they
know. If people
record
ask
it?
that, I
Did
knew the
they?
name of it, but I'm 57 now. That was back in the 7th grade, so I can't
So,
remember the name
so
of it.
what was the name of it?
I can't remember. I can't
Oh
remember.
wow! And you
Can't
got a
remember.
check for a song you wrote.
$75.
Amazing. I
Yeah.
never knew that they did that with the Right On
Oh
magazine.
man, if you go like to an old magazine store or maybe Barnes and Noble, they might have a section. Some of those is right in the back. We want to buy your song.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I guess, if you're in tune with something, then you see it. It's like, I don't
Yeah.
write songs, so I wouldn't even
Right.
notice that. You know what I
But you
mean?
noticed the pen pal though.
I noticed the pen pal.
Yeah. There you go. That struck your
So,
attention.
because I write
Yeah.
stories and letters. Always been a letter writer. I write letters today, and I tell people
Yeah.
letter writing is a lost art. You can get a lot done with the letter. If you get the address of the person that you're sending it to, and I don't mean an email, I mean an actual letter, you can actually make moves with the letter.
Well, Miss, your last name is Richardson, right?
Richardson.
I don't know where I got Alexander from. I'm sorry, but
I don't
Miss
either.
Richardson, this is something I want to tap into after my birthday. I got too much on the table right now. I got to finish
Okay.
these other 5 books, but I want to start doing postcards. What I mean by postcards, real, like if I go right now, pick a postcard from my mom, it's gonna be written from somebody else that can relate. You know, you can give this to your mom. That's not my words.
Okay.
I think every culture has their own way of putting things when it comes to a real card, like to an uncle or to auntie. Like for
Oh,
instance,
like a greeting card, but a postcard instead.
greeting card. My bad,
Okay.
greeting card. Like
Okay.
say for instance, if it was my uncle's birthday, I would want to say to all of my uncles that everybody can relate to, yo, what's up, Unc? Hey man, I know it's your big day today. I know you're gonna turn up, but listen, old nephew just wanted to say he love you. And I know we don't talk like that on the regular, but I want you to know how I feel about you, man. You my everything. And I'm glad I ain't in front of you because I'll probably break down right now. So I just want to say, yeah, go kick it, man, and turn up, man. I love you. I can't wait to see you. Now, my uncle can sit back and say, yeah, that's his words, right? That's him right there, whoever. But just say to my uncle, that's to anybody. You know,
Well, that's true. That's true.
and then I want to do a letter to my mom, but I wanted to speak for anybody that has a mom that they really want to say other than you the greatest, and no, I want to dig deep from the time I knew you were my mom and to how much you appreciate you. Time when I know we didn't have much, you always made something happen, made me a cake or something like. I want to do deep, deep, deep. Uh, Greek. What you call it? What did you call it? Not postcards. What did you say? Greeting cards, right?
A greeting card.
I
Now,
want to do.
Marvin, we are, believe it or not, we're at the end of our show.
You got 30 more minutes now.
No,
Come on now.
no,
You came late anyway, so
No.
hey, don't be much.
No, we have to stop at 9 o'clock Central Time. That's what we do. So we want to say to everybody out there, including you, Marvin, have a great Thanksgiving. Don't
Wonderful.
eat too much,
Yeah,
but enjoy yourself and be
That's
with
right.
family and give them a hug, because tomorrow is not promised.
That's true.
So anyway, that's our show for this week. And we'll be back next Tuesday with another edition of Black Authors Matter TV. I'm Gwen Richardson signing off. And
Yes.
be blessed, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in, and join us next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern for another edition of Black Authors Matter TV.